Welcome to a new Harry's Garage video, and this one again is all about the Paris Dakar bike collection I have here. Now, I've done two bikes so far. Hopefully you've already watched the Yamaha XT500 video and then the BMW R80 GS Paris Dakar edition video as well. The next bike we get to is this one, a real favourite of mine, the Honda XL500R. Now this one was a surprise winner of the 1982 Paris Dakar race, because BMW and the bigger bikes were sort of dominating it, but they all went a bit wrong for BMW in the 1982 Paris Dakar edition. And Cyril Neveu, who won the original Paris Dakar in 1979 on the little Yamaha XT500, had been signed up by Honda, and he was just riding this. And the thing about this XL500R, this was really popular bike, especially in America. It was Honda engineering, precision engineering, and it was the first bike that really introduced this called ProLink. You know, we're discussing about how the little Yamaha XT500 had twin shockers at the back and didn't have a lot of suspension travel. Well, the XL500 had this new from motocross suspension with a single shocker, which is hiding up here, and suddenly you had much more suspension travel. If I look at the front, that XT500, the wheel bolts on down the bottom here, but if you can have an even longer spring by bolting the wheel on the side of the forks like this, it's just something you might notice. The XT is at the bottom, this one is like this, and that's how you tend to do it. Honda weren't expecting to win at all, but the BMWs had a mare, I think one bike got lost and the other one had a gearbox blow up. And Cyril Neveu, highly experienced by then, came through the finish and won on this little XL500R. What was actually he was doing at Honda was working on the ultimate Paris Dakar bike, which we'll get to next, the Africa Twin. But this one, it's slightly lighter as well than the Yamaha XT500. Same horsepower, same 32 horsepower, slightly down on torque, still kickstart, but about 5-6 kilos lighter than the XT500, and with much more suspension travel, uber reliable. This is quite a rare one because it's got the Paris Dakar tank on it and a single seat. So these are, again, quite collectible, but pretty rare. They were sold in Germany mainly. One slight oddity on this engine, it's a 4-valve head, so it's the first one of that, but it actually has 2 exhausts coming out the head. I'm not quite sure why they did it. I presume it's something to do to get an extra bit of horsepower from it, but it's rated at 32 horsepower. It's not overly powered, but as I say, it's a really sweet little engine and ultra reliable. But when we go outside and you just see how it performs, you can see why this is a particular favourite of mine in the collection. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'll put my helmet on and we'll go out for a ride. Yes, that stand, you've got to watch that. It flicks up. It's one of those that flicks straight up. I don't particularly like this. Has got the rubber foot pegs, which are sort of all right when it's dry, but if it's a bit wet, they're just a bit slippery. Now, starting this bike, yeah, it feels on. It has a choke. This engine is actually warm, so I don't need to use the manual choke there. But kick it to get it in the right position. I do that. I'll do that again. I can feel a compression. I bring it up and kick it, and it has an automatic decompression valve on it, so you get to that compression stroke up and then just kick it, it just starts, and it is the best kickstart I know, really. Always, never fails to start this one. Right, off we go. And yeah, first thing I think, it sort of reminds me of the little Yamaha XT500. It's just that lightweight nimbleness that's come back. This is the Paris Dakar edition with the bigger tank here, and it just makes it a little wider here, and my knees slightly touch it, but I sort of have it. I wouldn't be without it for the kudos of having a Paris Dakar edition. Right, we go in here into this steep field. And I'll just do first reasonable engine braking. Well, very good really, because the thing is it's light, isn't it? So that's just no brakes, no nothing down there. Just thanks to the engine. And just funny enough, it doesn't feel quite as punchy as the little XL500 Yamaha. But yeah, plenty of power to put the front wheel up should you want to. And just better suspension. It's not fighting. I can feel the rear gripping. I can put the power on around there. And it's just got a more sophisticated suspension than that, the XT500. And yeah, the wheel is more likely to be in contact with the ground, so you can power up easier. Down here, just swallows those ruts. Yeah, nice thing. Whoops, got neutral. Up here, oh, yeah, got enough power to lift the wheel. What was that at? 80, so, oh, it's 80 clicks, isn't it, so 50. Okay, just lovely. Drum brakes, actually, that's one thing. I've had this drum on the front adjusted beautifully, and lots of people criticise it for not being a disc. Well, actually, when it's adjusted right, I find it's just as effective as a disc. And because the bike's so light, there's very little sort of mass to brake anyway, so it's not a problem at all. And you can see it just makes a mockery of this slope. Absolute mockery. We'll just tickle it around here. And so you could just, oh, probably the biggest jump of the lot. It is a very friendly device. Right, I'm going to take the steepest bit of the wall, and up we go. No problem at all. Just a fun little bike. Plenty of power, and it's all more rounded, I suppose, than the Yamaha. More appealing to a younger generation who don't like losing their right leg to an angry kick-starting bike. See, but all the way up there, just kissing the deck, the front wheel. Around here as well. Bit of a head shake, but we aren't doing them. God knows what sort of speed. Swallow these as well. Look at those. I mean, they're big ruts, those, but right. Let's go and give it the speed test across the field. Let's see what it does. I suspect it'll be just on par with that Yamaha, because that has a hell of a turn of speed. Got a little mini jump here. Whoa! As long as it lands you in the bloody trees. Right, let's see what it does. Let's get the right gear. Where's my turn-in point? Missed it. Oh, come on, keep it straight. Trying to max out a moped. There we are. There's 120, isn't it? Oh, whoa. So yeah, just about the same as the little Yamaha XT500, which I sort of expected, but just a more refined sort of ride. Whew. Well, there we go. Whoops, got a bit of rate from somewhere. Yeah, just a great bike. It's one I recommend. Anybody who's thinking about getting one of these sort of Dakar type bikes and lightweight and is generally going to use it, green laning and that sort of thing, you really can't beat a Honda like this, the 500R. It's just a very friendly device, and don't be put off by the kickstart because it's so good at starting. The key with all these bikes is to use them and to turn the fuel off when you know you're not going to use it and run the carburetor out of fuel. That's how I do it. But it's such an easy bike to start on kickstart. It's not particularly sophisticated. I've got a 600 as well. That's a dry sumped engine. This is wet sumped here. But honestly, such a friendly device. Loads of parts, no problem with parts. Honda reliability, got great looks as well. So a real fave in the collection. Well, they all are really, but this one I just think is a really great bike to have in there. So there you go. You can see why it won the Dakar 1982. It's just a trouble-free sort of small lightweight bike. A really nice one to ride. Hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be more bike videos coming along very soon.